Hi friends, in this video I'm going to explain constraint tools. I already explained some of the constraint tools in my previous tutorial. And first go on to the part design. Already explained the interface, user interface, and some of the constraint, how to constrain with examples. You can also check out the previous videos. First go on to the part design. For example, I'm clicking on the part design and you can see the create body. You click on the create body. You can observe on the left side the create sketch and go to the create sketch. You can observe the XY plane and the YZ plane and the XZ plane, YZ plane and the XY plane. You can observe on the left side. Select any of the planes. Already explained here. You can observe the prescriptive modes are also there, isometry and the prescriptive and the orthographic. You can choose any as you wish, like to identify the planes. Then after identifying the planes, I'm clicking on the XY plane and click on OK. Then it go like this. You can observe we are in the XY plane. After on the XY plane, you can observe these are the tasks we have to continue. Here you can observe the elements and the constraints and the edit controls and the solver messages. And by doing the applying the lines like any of the models, you can observe the geometry here, like elements and the constraint, what you have to constrain and what you are doing to constrain the properties. Here it will appear on the left side. You can observe. First I want to explain with all of these tools are already explained. Create a coincident constraint and fix a point into your object, and is also explained with the hotkeys. And the vertical constraint is completed and the horizontal constraint is also explained previous. Now we're going to explain the parallel constraint here, and the perpendicular also explained in the previous, and the tangent constraint have to explain in this tutorial. And this is called the equality constraint, and this is the between the 2 points of a line or a third point. I have to explain these tools in this tutorial. Already explain of this, give the dimensions and how to give the diameter and how to give the radius also explain. I want to explain these features. Some of the features are remaining. I want to explain this tutorial, and you can observe the on the sketcher. We are in the sketcher workbench, and you can observe these in the sketcher workbench. You can observe the sketcher. And after I want to create some of the line, you can observe that these are the lines here. Select the line anywhere on the plane. Anywhere I want to create one of the line here like this. After creating the line, again I want to create another line here, because I am explaining the equality and the parallel constraint, how to give this parallel constraint and equality. You can observe that these are the vertical lines, horizontal line, then only it is showing the constraint is showing some of the dot line. You can observe that this is called as it is going to constraint as a horizontal constraint like this. And you can observe I'm clicking the escape key, and after I'm selecting the first and the second. After selecting the first and the second, you can observe I want to create a parallel constraint between the two lines. You can observe the two lines I am constructed the parallel. You can observe it is moving like this. It is parallel. See, it is not going anywhere. It is parallelly constrained. It is not going to any angle. It is parallelly, it is moving like this. Parallel constraint will helpful. You can observe you can also give the dimensions also. Now I already explained how to give the dimensions of the green color appeared. Then after how to constraint already explained. And you can observe the equality parallel constraint is completed. Then after I want to go on to for example, equal constraint. What is about the equality constraint? You can observe here the line is moving here like this, and this line is also moving. We are dragging the point, means this line is moving here to here like this. Individually it is moving. For example, I am constrained to the first, I am selecting the second, then after I will give the equality constraint. You can see I am selecting the 1 point. It moves means the equally what is the parallel object is there, that is also moving similarly. You can see this is also constraint. This is the equality constraint will helpful to you for creating the objects, the FreeCAD. And you can observe this is the tangent constraint. The tangent constraint, if the semicircle of half of the circle like perpendicular lines or the parallel lines, any of the one of the circle type object is required. And I'm creating the one of the circle at the center, for example like this. It is not constant to the top line and it is not constant to the bottom line. How it will look, I will show you. And select the first circle and select the second line, first line of the on the top. And after selecting the circle and selecting the top of the line, you can observe the circle and the line is selected. It is also changed, all the color is also changed, and you can observe the two are selected. Then after you can observe here the tangent constraint. Click on the tangent. You can observe the tangent constraint. This tangent constraint, this appears. In FreeCAD you can observe the any of the lines are constrained, means you can observe the object, what is the assigned object on the top, it will also assign here. That is the option you can observe. For example, it is constrained but is not constrained. Why? For example, selecting and drag this and you can observe it is constrained. It is a technique. You can observe I want to create the and the first constraint, and you can observe the I'm selecting the circle and select the line, and after selecting the circle and select the line and go into the again tangent constraint, you can observe I'm simply move this and it is two are constrained to the top and the bottom. The circle is tangent constraint. Here also the symbol, the constraint, I am moving the circle, it is not going anywhere but moving on to the parallel to this, like horizontal it is moving, not to the vertical also it is moving, and the horizontal is moving with respect to the first line and the second line. You can observe I want to constrain it to the, these all materials of the objects are total objects are moving, it's not constrained. How, for example, this point is there, I'm selecting the first point and second point of the starting points and select here. You can observe the I'm selecting the vertical constraint. After selecting the vertical constraint, you can observe select the first point, second point, and the constraint. You can observe the it is vertically constrained. If it is moving, okay, it is also moving here because on the other side it is not constrained, so it is similarly moving at the same position. I want to select the first point again and select the second point again and go into the vertical. You can observe the vertical, it is moving, like it is also vertically constrained like this, it is moving like this, and you can observe. Then after I am selecting the first point and the second point and again selecting the line, three objects are selected, and go on, you can observe the here the symmetry constraint between the 2 points. Symmetry constraint means any of the 2 points are required with respect to the one of the line is required. Here you can mention create a symmetry constraint between 2 points, between of 2 points with one of the respective line should required to the third point X. And I'm selecting the this symmetry. You can observe the symmetry symbol will form, it is moving, see, constraint like this. The symbol is also constraint. If you click on this constraint, it is merging. You can observe that is called as symmetry constraint. I'm selecting the first and second and selecting the symmetry and select the symmetry option. Like this you can give the any of the constraint properties. See, I'm selecting of first line, the second line, again I'm selecting the total is moving. I don't want to move the all of the object. Again select the first line and the second line, then after click on to the create a equality constraint, then it is not moving, it is fully constrained. It's fully constrained, it is not moving any of the, it is not moving. You can observe, you click on here also, it is not moving there. Again completing of the all of the properties here and select the equality constraint. If the equality constraint click once means it will only constrain to the equality. If you constrain again equal constraint, it will remains like this, it will not move from here and there. This is the sum of the constraint I've explained in this tutorial. You can observe all the constraint properties are completed, and you can observe the here how to give the dimensions also completed. How to give the dimensions also explained in my previous tutorials, and you can observe the how to give the lines and how to give the semicircles and the 3-point points also completed. This is what some of the basic examples for this tutorial. I will explain some of the new techniques and the new features of user interface of any of the commands are there means I will explain in my next tutorial.